So my name's Susan Cooklin. I'm the Group CIO at Network Rail. This afternoon's theme is on leadership, and my talk is really about how CIOs can do what we can do around outside our day job, what I call the day job, that is going to help influence the brand of our companies. Because running the service, doing the projects, doing the strategy, that is the day job. What extra can we do as leaders for our companies? So, because we know enhanced brand means enhanced business performance, which is what companies are looking for. So that's my theme. Let me tell you a little bit about Network Rail for those of you that don't know what we do. We are the UK rail infrastructure company, and essentially what that means is we look after the parts of the railway that don't move. We don't look after trains, we look after track, we look after bridges, we look after signal boxes, we have our own telecoms network, actually. So it's a big beast. We do major enhancement programs. King's Cross Station, that's one of ours. Cannon Street, that's another one. Blackfriars, I don't know where people come into. Reading is a big enhancement project that's just about complete. So that's what we're about. We have an income of about £6 billion, a cost base of £3.2 billion, and a staff of 35,000 people. The UK has invested £38 billion in the railways for the next 5 years. This is a phenomenal amount of money, and it is a big investment in infrastructure. In terms of my role, what does that mean for my role? Well, what that means is if the information isn't displaying on the station, Euston Station screens, that's me. That's me and my people, which yesterday morning at about 6:45, it all went blank for about 3 seconds. I almost had heart failure. I was kind of looking at it saying, where's it all gone? But it came back very quickly. So really what I'm going to do is just illustrate a few examples where I believe I've tried to enhance the brand of Network Rail. I would like to say that this was some great strategy that had been planned out over the last couple of years, but actually they were things that I happened upon and chose to kind of take forward. Example one. First example is join up with a top-rate educational institution because it enhances your brand. And many of us will have programs that we're doing with universities. But in the particular example I'm talking about, you know how we all get spam and we're asked to kind of, spam of events, things from Computer Weekly, things from Information Age. In the spam came one day something from MIT. And I kind of printed it off and I thought, this looks interesting. MIT CIO Symposium. And I kind of sat down, put it on the desk, and I thought, Network Rail, MIT. Network Rail, MIT. That has to be a good thing to do, doesn't it? And I talked to one of my colleagues on the board who said, well, Susan, there's nothing like aiming at the top. And what MIT were doing was running a kind of, I suppose it was a kind of an innovation competition. And I said, let's put something in. And I left it really quite late to put something in. But to cut a long story short, we got through to the final four, the other three being Americans. And we went out to Boston. I always like going out to Boston. Why wouldn't you want to go out to Boston? So we went out to Boston. And Aid McCormack, who I don't know if he still is a journalist at the FT, had said to me before we went, MIT takes CIOs very seriously. And indeed they do. There were 700 CIOs. So imagine an audience 7 times the size of this room. Imagine a screen probably about 4 times the size of this with Network Rail on it. And the other thing is, although we didn't win, what they're interested in is the debate. They're interested in the conversation about innovation, probably like the conversations that have been going on earlier today. So we got a lot of good stuff out of it. We still have links with MIT through Jeannie Ross, who is at the Sloan Business School. It's given us very good insights and research into other global companies and their IT strategies. Good thing to do. Bit of luck, but I'd have a look. See if they're running it again this year. Example 2. Team up with a company that has a good brand. So let's talk about mobile. We went into mobile very early. We went into iPads and iPhones very early, at 2010. And we did it because I'm a little bit of an Apple fan. And I thought it was quite interesting because it blurs I could see something that blurred personal and corporate. And that should be interesting. So against all my techies' advice, I had to go and get some of these things and let's have a look at them. So we got into that bit of technology early. We now have 22,000 devices deployed across the company. We have our maintenance staff who initially said, you're going to track us with this stuff, this isn't going to be good. Love the things. We have apps deployed on there for recording safety incidents that happen. We have something called a close call application, which everybody uses to record something that's not safe. You can take a photograph, you send it back to the centre. Somebody gives you a response within 24 hours. So where we now are is 2 weeks ago, Apple came in from the US to film us and interview us. We'll be on their corporate website in the first quarter of next year. Oh, and by the way, the star of the show is not Network Rail or me. It is the product. So as they were doing the photo shoot with me, somebody came up with a duster, and I thought, are they going to change my makeup or something? No. They were doing this kind of... Because I had the gold one, and they just wanted to make sure the Apple thing was shining in shot. So we'll see how it looks. But that's a good thing to do. So we picked the right technology. We're lucky. You might say we were lucky. We picked certain technology at the right time. But we are making sure we get the right publicity out of it. And finally, the third example I'm going to use is something where you can enhance the brand by having a broader impact. And yes, it's in the diversity space, and yes, it is the woman thing, okay? Something that I didn't think I would be here talking about because I was one of those women that just went and then looked round and thought, what happened to everybody? And so about, I think it was last year, we launched the Could It Be You campaign. This is a campaign aimed at 16 to 18-year-old girls at school, sixth form, to raise their awareness of IT as a career for them because they have been switched off. And there are lots of good initiatives going on now for 10, 11-year-olds right up to 14. But if you missed them, what this initiative is trying to do is turn people around. And coming back to what John said about not just recruiting, I've always been in the space of you recruit diverse skills. So yes, you need your technical skills, but someone with a degree in psychology or history or whatever, there are many roles in the technology sector, and we can train a lot of technical skills, but we can't train, it's more difficult to train influencing skills, emotional intelligence, and that is what you will see in some of those things. And it's really nice. Is that Karen Price at the back there? Yes, Karen's. So we targeted 16 to 18-year-olds. Essentially, it's a competition. On our website, the girls have to kind of write an essay, 300-word essay, and the first prize, the person that wins the first prize gets their first year university fees paid. There are 5 runners-up prizes. They get 2 weeks paid internship, paid work experience in the summer, and they get a female mentor for a year. So there's 6 of them. And the competition, and really I have to thank the team, my young team, and it is a very young team. It was a team of 22, 23, 24-year-olds, all women, who ran this for me. They took what was my idea of let's do a competition and turned it into something really quite special. So we ran a finalist day, and we're running the second one in February for 100 young women. We run talks, we have workshops, we tell them what a career in IT might look like. And by the time they left, the last set, last February, 86% said they would seriously consider a career in IT. And for the cynics amongst us, I would just say this. So for the cynics that are sitting there, if only 17% of the IT jobs in the UK are filled by women, then as an industry, we are missing out on a huge amount of talent. And we've really got to try and change that demographic. So it's been a really good outcome for Network Rail. It's helping feed our pipeline. We had, as a result of the finalist day, we had girls approaching us who want to study engineering as well as IT. And we know how important that's going to be. The convergence of IT and engineering is getting closer and closer. We're going to need those skills for the future. So, I'm going to wrap up. Those were 3 examples. I hope they were useful examples. CIOs, if they really want to be influential, my advice would be you've got to do more for your company than just deliver the IT services. Thank you very much.